Hi, this is Michael. Welcome to the channel where we figure stuff out together because we're all in this together. The stock market, super important to most of our lives, whether you have it in a pension fund or a retirement fund or a Roth, it's affecting your well-being and your retirement. So it's something that YouTube is really a big plus, at least in my life, because I'm able to watch lots of YouTube channels, get a good education about the stock market. And I made a video last week or so. I'm going to link it in here later, comparing pickers. And I ranked them all from 7 to 1. It's pretty interesting. But on this video, I wanted to get a little deeper dive. I wanted to get into what their actual picks are, not Pixar, the motion picture, but picks are, and see how they're doing. Because the bottom line is, are they successful? So let's get right to it. Please like and subscribe so we can make more of this content and have this dialogue with each other. It's very helpful. First one is Meet Kevin. And Meet Kevin got a mediocre grade because he's been kind of all over the place, but his number one pick, I think, is Tesla.
I just bought a Cyber truck. It was a Cyber Beast, which cost me about $115,000, which means I could have almost bought 2 Optimus robots and 2 Cyber cabs. But then again, maybe the joke's on me. Anyway, hey everyone, me Kevin here.
It's hard to figure out what his picks are because he makes so many videos and they're all over the place, from political to opinions on the floods and fires in California. And there's a lot of content. But Tesla seems to be a ongoing pick for him. And it's been doing pretty well lately. We're going to give Kevin a B rating for his pick of Tesla. Next person up is Charlie at Zip Trader.
Okay, folks, so I want to start with a crypto play. Mara. Now, you may remember lovely Mara from our top 3 stocks video last Sunday. We called it out at just over $10, and it actually more than doubled. I know a lot of you caught a chunk of this, and that's great, but I know what you're thinking. Charlie, you can't possibly be saying that this is going to double again. We just can't take any more triple-digit runs, Charlie. Please tell us you're not saying that, Charlie. Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Charlie's Mara is actually doing pretty poorly. He's been touting it for over a year. If the idea is that if Bitcoin goes up, the miners would go up even more, actually percentage-wise, maybe 2-3 times the amount of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's gone up, but the miners have not. So Charlie, unfortunately, we're going to have to give him C- on this video for his Mara pick. Next one up is Jeremy. Jeremy got the highest rating on my previous video for his overall picks. He's done really well with Meta and Palantir and a bunch of stocks. He's done very well, but his latest pick is AMD.
AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, is the main subject of today's video. We're going to talk about why this stock is a must buy and keep dang buying nonstop this stock week in and week out.
And I have to say, Jeremy it's not panned out for Jeremy at the moment. I believe he started touting it when it was about 125 to 130. And now it's more like 110 to 115. But, you know, Jeremy does say this is in the long haul, and he is very adamant. So when it goes down, he actually says, great, gives me an opportunity to buy a stock on sale. So we're going to give Jeremy, you got to weigh in all his other good picks, but we're going to give him a B for AMD, but we're going to monitor it. I'll come back in a few weeks and we'll check all these stocks and see how they're doing. The next one up is James.
The craziest thing that's happened, and it's all about MicroStrategy and how they have filed a request to increase their number of shares to over a crazy number, which we'll get into in a second. And we'll try to get to the bottom of what this all means for MicroStrategy, for Bitcoin price. Can Michael Saylor pull it off? Is it crazy? Should we dump the stock or should we hold it? This is literally what I've lived my life for. This is game theory on steroids, GTOS. It's bonkers. We're going to break it down and what it all means. It's just once in a life you will ever see something like this. Thank you all for joining.
MicroStrategy is a company that decided to go all in on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up, similar to Mara, the idea is that MSTR, MicroStrategy, now it's called Strategy, would go up multiples of the Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been pretty steady and stagnant in the 90s at the moment. So MSTR has not done well. James is a very likable guy. I could watch his whole video for 30 minutes, and he's very detailed, and he's gives good information. He does a lot of research, but unfortunately, it's not panning out at the moment. We're going to give him a B minus. I'm hoping that he makes a turnaround. The next stock picker up is StockMo. And again, on his previous video, my previous video, he's got a pretty good grade. He does take these kind of, long shots, and his big pick, I would say his big pick a few months ago is TMF. He was really touting TMF. I mean, there's a video a day for 2 months, 3 months about TMF. I bought TMF, did not pan out. He switched over to XRP.
Out there, you're owning some XRP, you're going to want to watch this video. It is time for that daily dose of information to get our blood pumping and hopefully make our wallets fat. Now, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Join me on this journey. Financial freedom, hopefully generational wealth, and so much more. And of course, the news. It's just flowing in nonstop. It's crazy out there.
Which again is a crypto stock. And it has not panned out. I mean, it's okay. It's about, it went up a lot, which made StockMo look really good. Then it went down a lot, and now it's kind of middled through. So he says he's keeps buying it. So we're going to monitor that. But right now it's a middle of the road. So certainly a C for StockMo's XRP pick seems to make a lot of sense. Next one is Paul at Everything Money. Now, when I did the ratings on the previous video, 7 different channels, Everything Money, I think, was 7th because he's super conservative. He's missed out on lots of good opportunities. But on the plus side, if he ever does like something, it's like, holy crap, this guy finally likes something. I'm gonna get on board with that because he's, like I said, very conservative. So his latest pick, or not his latest pick, but one of the few stocks that he has bought was Alibaba.
This is my intrinsic value return. Intrinsic value. This is not the return I want. You should not be buying individual stocks to match the market. 9 or 10% is going to match the market. You need a premium. But I want to show what the market return would make the stock worth. Boom. 177 based on multiple of earnings, 212 based on a discounted cash flow model. That gives at the current price, not the 66 or the 70 that we were adding more and more shares at, gives it an 18% return.
Which is BA. And it has made a good turnaround. It was in the 80s or 90s, and now it's moving, well over 100. And it seems to be moving in the right direction with AI. So we're going to have to give Paul a decent grade here. I'm not going to go crazy because, again, this is sort of 1 out of 100 that he's nailed, but let's give him his due. I'm going to give him a B minus, and we'll monitor this. We'll check back in a few weeks and see how Bob is doing, but he certainly has room to grow with his Baba pick. The next gentleman is Brian, and it's Clear Value Tax. And again, super nice guy, very straightforward. I love his videos. They're short and sweet, 7-8 minutes, very sophisticated, very dry, but he gets to the point, which I like. And he doesn't give stock picks, but he gives general market tips. And his basic thought in the past few weeks is that the market is going to melt up.
So you know how we had the Great Recession? Well, I'll coin this event the Great Melt Up. It will happen. It is inevitable.
That inflation is going to hang around and stocks are just going to go up because people have more money and things cost more, and it'll melt up, which is not a bad thing if you're invested in the stock market. That said, it hasn't panned out completely. The market hit a high and now has pulled back a bit. So he's kind of on the right path. His logic is there, but we're going to give him a B. And keep track of it. The market has been bad the last couple of days, so that certainly doesn't bode well for Brian. But his logic is there, and I hope it works out what he says, because that makes it'll make everybody some money. Last but not least is Amit, A-M-I-T. That's not the stock, that's the man, Amit. And his stock for 2 years now has been Palantir.
Daily Palantir, and we've got two things to discuss today. Number one, we have a new price target by Mr. Dan Ives for $90 on Palantir. So we will be discussing that price target and the implications of that price target. Number two, we have a new $500 billion AI CapEx investment in the United States that is happening. It was announced a couple days ago, called Stargate. And I think that is also having some implications for Palantir. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it.
LTR. And you have to give him really a lot of credit. I do. He was on Palantir as early as anybody. He, when Palantir was $4, $5, $6, he was doing lots of videos on Palantir. So it went up from 4, 5, 6 to one. I think it hit 130. It was euphoria. It was, congratulations. And now it has pulled all the way back from 130 to 90. So still an amazing run. Amit works really hard. He does a video every day to start the stock open for like an hour. I give this guy a lot of credit. He's starting to expand out to other stocks, so I'm watching, and I'll report back to you on those as well. But for his Palantir pick, we have to give him an A because he kind of nailed it. It's not easy to do a 20 bagger or whatever it came to, and if you do that once every 10 years, you're golden, and he did it in the past year and a half. So an A for Amit. The grades are dynamic. I may come back in 2 weeks and tell you it's all changed. So subscribe, like, and be ready for the next ratings and reviews. But that's where we stand at the moment. Please watch the previous video because that really tells you a lot more about each individual picker, and maybe you can decide who you like based on that. And I will see you soon.